Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about horizontal and vertical lines. So I have a little acronym to help us remember things about horizontal and vertical lines, which are HOI and VUX. It's just standing for some things that we need to know. When we have horizontal lines, we are going to be talking about HOI. So horizontal is what the H stands for. The 0 tells us that our slope, or the M of a horizontal line, is 0. Just like the O, it is 0. And then the Y in HOI stands for what our equation would look like of a horizontal line. Whenever we have a horizontal line, the equation is going to look like Y equals, and it will just be a number. There will be no x's in a horizontal line equation. VUX stands for vertical, for the V. So whenever we have a vertical line, the V stands for vertical. The U also tells us about the slope. When I have a vertical line, so straight up and down, that is going to have a slope of undefined. It is so steep that we cannot define it. The X in VUX stands for what our equation would look like of a vertical line. So if I have a vertical line, the equation is just going to have X equals and a number. There's not going to be a Y in the equation of a vertical line. So if you're not sure, horizontal lines are lines that are straight across, and those vertical lines are straight up and down. If you need to make yourself a note, do so. So let's try some examples down below. Let's look at the first one. It tells me X equals 2. Since we have an X in that equation, that tells me it's going to be a VUX. So if you want to help yourself out by talking about the VUX, that's going to tell us it is since it's VUX, it's going to be a vertical line. So I am going to go on the x-axis at this number 2, and I am going to make a vertical line straight up and down. Since we know that it is a vertical line, VUX, we can also say that our slope is undefined of that graph. That's what the U in VUX stands for. All right, let's try B. B says Y equals 2. So since it's Y, I know it's HOI. Y is in HOI. So I'm going to go on the y-axis, and I'm going to go to the number 2 on the y-axis, and this time, since it's HOI, I'm going to make a horizontal line. With a horizontal line, we can also look in HOI. It tells us that our slope of that line is 0. All right, let's do another example. Sliding over to C. We have X equals 0. Since it's X, I know that it is VUX. So I'm going to go on the x-axis at 0. So I'm going to go to 0 on the x, and VUX tells me I'm going to make a vertical line straight up and down. With a vertical line, it tells us in VUX that our slope is undefined. All right, let's go to D now. Looking at D. D says Y equals 0. So very similar to C, but now it is Y. So since it's Y, it is HOI. So we are going to go on our y-axis to 0. So y-axis at 0, and this time it's HOI. So we are going to make a horizontal line. HOI also tells us about our slope. That 0 tells us our slope is 0 of a horizontal line. All right, looking at E. E says x equals -3, so x is a VUX. So we are going to go to our x-axis at -3. So x at -3, and it's a VUX, so we are going to make a vertical line. VUX also tells us about our slope. That U tells us our slope is undefined. All right, last example, looking at F. F says y equals -4. So it is a y telling us hoi. So we are going to go to our y-axis at that -4. So y-axis at -4. And it's hoi, so we are going to make a horizontal line. So when we make a horizontal line, that hoi also tells us that our slope, the O stands for slope, is 0. Good job. Let's head to Delta Math to do some practice, which will be all about, it'll be under Unit 2, saying horizontal and vertical lines.